How's it going, everybody? Texas Man here. I hope you guys are all having a spectacular day. Please give this video a thumbs up if you guys really enjoy it. Subscribe if you guys have not already. Also, do me the biggest favor of all, hit the bell notification button so you guys don't miss out on future videos or streams here on the channel. If you guys would also please head over to Twitch, follow me there at Douglas447. Stream there at least once a week, whether it's for Call of Duty, Battlefield, Halo, or Destiny 2. And as always, if you guys have any movies, shows, or games you guys want me to cover here on the channel, please let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, we're going to be talking positives and negatives, talking about a brand new show here in 2022 on Disney Plus exclusively, The Quest. This is going to be covering all of season 1, all 8 episodes, involving 8 real teens, and they are placed into a game show. However, the show places the teens into a fantasy fictional world called Everrealm, and the 8 teens must save the kingdom, fulfill a prophecy, and defeat an evil sorceress. And I was really hopeful that this game show, that's not a game show, I was really hopeful that this show was going to do well. I was really striving for this show to be an amazing 9 out of 10, maybe even a 10 out of 10, because a lot of people working behind this show worked on the Lord of the Rings movies with Peter Jackson. And I was just really hopeful, and my satisfaction for the most part was completed, and I really had a blast watching the show. There are a few nitpicks I'm going to discuss though. First of all, I was happy that each episode is on average 40 minutes. Sometimes it's about 35, sometimes about 48 to 50. Just depends on the episode. And I'm also happy that all 8 episodes were released all at once. We didn't have to wait 1 week for each episode, which I'm really happy for, and I have a gut feeling that's because they wanted us to watch this along with Sneakerella to satisfy us before the Obi-Wan Kenobi show comes out. I love how the show confuses you constantly if the events are part of the magical story of Everrealm or they're just part of the reality game show. Unfortunately, after like the 3rd episode ended, I realized, okay, these kids really think they're in a game show, but in all reality, these life and death situations are real, and it's not just, fictional. The creature design is great, the soundtrack is really great. However, I feel like the show could have been shorter and longer, and I'll get into what I mean by it being longer in just a second. The show could have been shorter. I don't feel like it should have been 8 episodes. What I mean by that is the characters have to keep searching for things constantly. Yes, I know this is a quest. Let me explain what I mean. The characters keep having to search for objects, only to be told by somebody that they need to go find another object, and when they get that second object, someone else tells them, okay, you need to go find this 3rd object, and when they get that 3rd object, then they get told by somebody else, like, okay, now you need to go do this puzzle, or go battle this creature, and go get this object, and go grab that object, and it's like, it's a never-ending loop of collecting things, and losing things, and figuring out how to get the lost thing, and we need to go get more things, and then there's people that are hiding things, and we need to go. It's just. I know it's supposed to be a game show, and the whole purpose is to complete puzzles and find things, but using that exact same concept for 8 episodes that are almost an hour long really drags the show out. The repetition of looking for things gets boring fast. Like, they even have a maze in this show, and like, okay, please let there be no objects whatsoever involved in this maze puzzle. No, they have to complete the maze, but while they're completing the maze, they need to find these firestone objects to light some torch. It's like, why can't they just get to the torch? Like, why did they have to add in another layer of collecting things to something that didn't really need it? Like, the torch should have just been lit. The repetition was ridiculous. The villain has a truly tragic backstory, and about halfway through, you kind of feel like you want the evil sorceress. I can't remember her name for the life of me, so don't ask me what her name is. But you really wish that the evil sorceress would win just because of what was done to her as a child. And you kind of get that emotion. I think it was like episode 4 or 5. Unfortunately, it kind of gets completely forgotten about come the last half of the final episode, and she's just pure evil. And it's like, okay, I used to have sympathy for you and kind of wanted you to not lose to the good guys. Now you're just pure evil, and I'm happy you're defeated. I'm just like, okay, well, that's over with. The show does a good job of dealing with concepts and moments that involve fantasy, drama, truth, deception, love, friendship, family, temptation, and power. Also, the show's introduction is very similar to Lord of the Rings. Like, if you've ever watched the Lord of the Rings trilogy, which if you haven't by now, go watch it before you watch the show. The show's introduction is very similar to Lord of the Rings, and it just you get vibes and goosebumps. It's like, okay, I'm watching like a TV show, game show kind of thing with Lord of the Rings mixed in. You can clearly tell the inspiration behind the camera and behind the pen, that the people that were working on the show clearly worked on Lord of the Rings. You can see it on screen. Diving into the final episode and the battle that happens were, it was amazing, especially with the showdown between all the heroes and the evil sorceress. I just wish that the final battle was a little longer. The fact that it was started and ended within 10 seconds was kind of weird, and it was literally a wand battle from Harry Potter. Like, literally the evil sorceress, shoots red, like, fire beam at the hero, and then the main hero uses this kingstone that's blue and shoots a blue beam, so you have red versus blue going on. But it looks exactly like the final battle between Harry Potter and Voldemort in Deathly Hallows Part 2, and I'm just like, you couldn't mix it up? And like, literally, that's the battle, is them shooting fiery lasers at each other, and I'm just like, so no, like, tactical maneuvering around the arena, no sword battling, like, literally, we're just gonna use magic for 10 seconds, and that's it. And I'm like, you built this moment up, this hype was there, and I just kind of felt disappointed and let down. There are several teases at the end of the final episode for a second season, which I would enjoy as long as it's a little less drama, a little more to do with characters and battles. Like, there's several characters we get very little to no backstory or knowledge about. There are some characters I feel like they got a decent amount. I wish they get more, and then there's characters like they fully fleshed them out. The Paladin / 8 teenagers, I have a feeling they'll return. I just want them to be older, 2 a lot wiser and smarter, and 3 for them to finally piece together that what happened in season 1 was not a game show. I want them to realize, hey, this is life and death stakes, and we're literally in another realm, we're in another universe, and I want them to realize, hey, when we were kids, that was not a game show, it was actually happening. And I hope that in season 2 they actually put the pieces together. No pun intended with it being a game show with puzzles. But I hope that they put that together and realize, okay, let's take what we learned, like, I don't know, 5 years ago. Let there be like a 5-year gap, and them deal with the new threat, which the end of season 1 does set up the newer threat. I think it's a solid watch. It's a good watch. Solid watch, 100%. If you have Disney Plus, I encourage you guys to check it out. If you're a fan of Lord of the Rings, you're going to enjoy the show even a lot more. If you're not a big fan of Lord of the Rings for whatever reason, and you've never seen it, watch Lord of the Rings. You'll definitely appreciate this a lot more. With that, I'm going to give The Quest from 2022 an 8 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. Bye, guys.